If you want to take a photo that you would consider nice, you can use color, composition, brightness, contrast, strong subjects. You gotta remember the rule of thirds.
Rule of thirds, put the subject on the third.
You can use all those techniques and that will more than likely produce a nice photo. This is something that you could put on your Instagram or Twitter, or maybe you can hang it up on the wall and it will be a nice photo. A nice photo is not always a portfolio photo. If you're scrolling through Instagram, you're gonna see a bunch of random shit, and the photos might be good. The photos might tickle that part of your brain that makes you think, this is really nice and cool. But if you were gonna throw all of that into a book, you'd have a bunch of nonsense all put together. That's not what a portfolio is meant to be. A portfolio is like a Taschen book, or a Taschen, whatever, who cares? It's like one of those books that people put together where it's like, I studied that one country, and I took photos of all the beautiful people in that one fucking country. That's what a portfolio shot should strive to be. It's not just a nice looking shot, it's a shot that makes sense in combination with other photos. An easy way to break it down is categorize photos into 3 groups, like a Reddit tier list. Group number 1 is like your F tier. That's just your bad photos. Everyone takes bad photos. In fact, the majority of your photos you take when you go out are probably going to be bad photos. They just never get seen ever. They're just a necessity. That's just how it goes. Your second group of photos are your nice photos. It's what we just talked about. They're just really, they're really solid compositionally. They're nice to look at. They're just inherently good. Portfolio photos are like 1 tier above nice photo, where not only do they look really good and they're compositionally really good, but maybe they tell a story. Maybe they work good with whatever other photos you have. They have some reason to be elevated above. And there's a million different reasons why something could be a portfolio shot. The main thing that sets a portfolio shot apart from being a nice photo is like you just have some sort of vision that you're putting that photo towards. The whole point is that you should have a rule set that you've thought about for more than 3 seconds. That's what really separates a portfolio shot from a nice shot, is the rule set. Your focus when you put together a portfolio, it can be literally fucking anything. It could be, you're gonna take photos of the big rock in California like that one guy does, and it could be hyper specific and detailed like that, where it's like every photo is gonna show off the rock. Or you can just have a general theme of like, I want to take photos of things that are red. It doesn't matter what you choose, but you should try to follow some theme. It doesn't matter how meaningful or important your theme is. You just have to choose something. Remember to always rent your apartment. Photography mechanically is kind of easy. And it's easy to take a shit ton of photos, so a big part of photography in general is being able to choose, being able to narrow down what is your best stuff, whether you're doing it professionally, just as a hobby, maybe you're like a hyper pretentious artist. Regardless of what you're doing it for, it's still important to know how to choose and know how to put together stuff that makes sense. The goal with having a portfolio is you're trying to show other photographers that you're big and you're an artist, and they're just taking photos of people having their daughter's wedding. You're trying to show that you're cooler and you have more artistic prowess compared to them, and you have swag, and they have a paycheck. And also, you can't talk about portfolio shots if you don't have a portfolio. You need to make a website. You need to have like you need to have like one of those big folders that people carry around at art school. We love fucking gatekeeping. If you're still confused and you're one of those kids that can't just learn off the packet, then you will watch me go through this black and white roll that I shot. I have not looked at these photos yet, but I'm going to use this roll to show what my process looks like when I actually choose what photos are good, what photos suck ass, and what actually can be a portfolio contender. The portfolio spot that I'm trying to fill is a photo series where I'm going to places that are hot as balls, and I take photos of urban areas, things that show off urban life. It's pretty straightforward, but that's the theme that I'm following. The first shot, boring composition, big light leak on the side. This sucks. Second shot, this needs an exposure adjustment, but this has potential to be a nice shot just because it's visually interesting. There's a big pile of shit. This is a little dark and a little out of focus, but it's not a huge deal. This is like maybe on like the nice photo side of things, but maybe not portfolio. This one, I need to brighten this because I know there's a sign here that says hope. The foreground is not very interesting, so I lean towards not good. This one has no clear subject, not good. This one is okay. It might be better as a wider format. This is a little better here, but I think this falls more to nice photo rather than portfolio worthy photo. This is a big pile of shit on the floor, pretty underexposed. This is pass. A room full of mold and shit. Nothing is really identifiable though. You can't really tell what anything is in this room. Toilet. This is a nice photo. I think it's got a lot of good texture, a little out of focus, but I don't really care about that shit. This is one I will come back to later. This is a door frame. You can't see what's in the door frame. It frames nothing. This is a bad photo. Big pile of shit, big pile of rubble, interesting textures, but no theme. Not worth it. This one, interesting graffiti, interesting tree kind of in the middle of the frame. Composition is a little bit mid. It's just a typical head-on shot. I think this falls in the nice photo category. Some more graffiti on the side of that same thing. Bad subject. There's no clear subject in that photo. Not good. Head-on shot of a piece of cardboard with a couple toy shit tags. Again, might be better as a wider crop. This is one where I think this could be portfolio worthy, but I will come back after thinking about it for a second. It definitely needs editing, for sure. Here's a toilet and a room with some clothes, a big shitty tag in the middle. This one is just mid. It's not that good. It's not that good. This one, no clear subject. I thought this was kind of interesting. It's a wall socket dangling from a string, but it's not really anything, so this is not a good photo. This one is it's like that one movie that came out recently. You ever heard of that one movie? It's directed by the teenager. This is one of those ones that you might post on Twitter to be like, whoa. Whoa. Same deal with this, is just the same thing, but another angle. I think this one's at least a little better compositionally. Here's a storm drain. Moving on, who cares? Here's a fire hydrant. Moving on, who cares? Here is a light post, and I took the photo because there's a big gulp. Not strong enough as a subject though, so nothing more than a nice photo here. Here's a good photo. This probably doesn't need a whole lot of contrast. The eye leads you towards the shit that's written on the fence. The fence has enough separation from the trees in the background. The trees give enough foliage to separate the man-made shit, and then you have a little bit of the light post here to separate the subjects. Another little thing, the focus point is probably like here on the fence, so this is a little bit out of focus, which I think is an interesting touch. This one has portfolio potential, but I'll have to come back and re-edit it and really fine-tune all the tones of everything. Here's a sign in a storm drain with a bunch of trash. I think this one, unfortunately, just is a little too cluttered visually, so this separates it from not being a good portfolio candidate. Here's a pile of shit at a construction site. Who cares, man? Let's get this shit out of here. This one I took the photo because there was a metal thing covering the window. I thought it was interesting. Doesn't really show off in black and white, so if this was color, this might have been a better shot. Here's another one with a big gulp. There's also some interesting little notes and stuff. You can see my shadow taking the photo. I think because of that, I'm gonna not put this photo in. Here is one little fence on the edge of a bridge. I think this one could be cool, this would be a nice photo with editing, but it's nothing insane for the portfolio. Here's a hat, some shoes dangling, and a bunch of graffiti. Interesting subjects. Lighting leaves a little bit to be desired, and I think the composition is not great because there's this entire side of the photo where it's essentially just nothing. I think maybe as a vertical 4x5, this could be a little better. Something like this works a little better, but it's again not crazy good. There's also this is the natural sunlight here, which I think is a little bit distracting. Here's some graffiti on the wall. Nothing new. Here's that same angle of the shit from the previous photo. I think maybe as a little bit more zoomed in, this is interesting, but like we've all seen trash before. This one is more of a subject focused photo with like a big nothing spot here, so this is not a good photo. This one I think does a good job of capturing a vibe of like, this is a rundown piece of shit. You got a little bit of something here to make it visually interesting. This is one of those Twitter photos. Doesn't make it a bad photo, just not good for the portfolio. Here is a storm drain. This entire top half of the photo is too dark. The subject here is a whole lot of nothing with a big gulp. This photo is a bunch of bird feeders. Interesting subject, and cool tones from the black and white. Not really what I'm going to throw in the portfolio. So this is another nice photo, but not amazing. Here's a Budweiser sign. I think I was definitely considering it would be a wide photo like this, but realistically, there's nothing that crazy. It's like, oh, dude, big advertisement. There's already that one guy. I forget his name, but he does the like photos at dusk of color of big advertising signs. I don't know. Construction site, interesting tones, not really a strong subject. I think it is interesting to have this porta potty here in the sun, this signboard in the sun. Second half of the photo is where it kind of falls off compositionally. Realistically, in this photo set, we have two candidates for potentially good portfolio work. I think it's this photo right here, and then this photo, where was it? Right here, of the indoors of the one building. That doesn't even mean that they're going to be the best for a portfolio. That just means that they're good enough to fit into the theme that I've picked and would fit along with the other photos that I've already got. So the next step would be to edit them down and actually make them just look how I want to in terms of the tones and the contrast and all that, just like the way that I like things to look. And then after that, it would actually be putting them into the portfolio to see if they work. And then if they look good next to the other ones, they stay. If they don't, they don't. That is what it would look like to choose portfolio work. Don't just throw random shit in your portfolio.